What's up, everyone? Andrew Reiner here with another episode of Game Informer's Replay. We're going back to September 28th, 1998 for the U.S. release of Pokémon Red and Blue. We're playing Red today. We got Jeff Cork sitting in.
Blue tomorrow.
We'll see.
Ben Hansen, the biggest Pokemon fan I know.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's not a compliment. And Kyle Hilliard as well.
I'm here.
Hello, hello.
Should I go and press a button, or do
Yeah,
we want
let's
to watch
play.
the Pokemon
No, let's
cycle?
here, pop quiz. Never mind.
Sorry, Reiner said to hit the button.
That was a Weedle.
All right,
Right?
You
Or-
passed that test.
Okay, good.
Here we go.
Hey, whatever you do, don't save because this is Game Informer's old copy of Red, and I want to jump back and look
okay.
at that and see how many are named after some hip hop artist from 1990.
Oh, Matt Helgeson playing it,
I'm
maybe?
sure. Yeah.
I think you got all the Wu-Tang in there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oak looks like a robot there.
This
Notorious JIG.
This is my
Jigglypuff, that
favorite thing about Pokemon Red and Blue. Going back to it and looking at the terrible sprite art. Like,
And him calling himself the prof.
well, it's tough to
Pokemon
fit
prop.
the entire thing in there.
Yeah.
And I love that they show Nidorino, in the title screen. Like, this is like the go-to Pokemon,
Right.
you know?
I wonder if they thought that one was going to be the popular one because it looks kind of dinosaur-esque.
Yeah,
sort of.
totally. Like, this is the next Pikachu,
Yeah.
everybody, before
like
we've declared Pikachu.
the first Pikachu.
What are we looking at? It's like a rabbit with a Triceratops horn or a unicorn horn.
It
That's
looks
exactly
cool.
it.
I want to throw a ball at that and then claim it as my own.
We're playing on a GameCube. That's why there's
the color's
color
a little
on
off,
here.
yeah.
yeah. So it's a little bit funky. Although red is red.
So
But
which new name here, right? Gotta
Butts.
go, right?
Can you do it? Will Nintendo let you? That's the big question.
Oh,
This is Game Freak. They get freaky.
I love using the male and female symbols when I enter my name in a video game.
Right.
that was just so Prince could play.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if it's a male butt or a female butt.
Oh, look at this cool dude.
Oh, look at that.
He's a grandson.
Grandson.
Who's your rival, Jeff Cork?
My rival?
Yeah.
Is that a nip slip?
Yeah, it totally
Wait,
is.
sorry. I was a little distracted there. Hubba hubba.
Dinner
My
plate.
rival. Oh, boy.
Ooh,
That
what is the
dastardly
rival
Dan
of
Reichert.
butts?
Oh,
What is the rival of butts?
I was just gonna go.
What's the opposite of butts? Careful.
Wow.
Very careful.
Can I go back? Can I hit backspace?
Yeah, hit the PK, or MN.
There we go. What Pokemon?
Very useful and
Oh, there
versatile.
we go. Okay. All right. So what are we going with here?
Mouths with a Z. What else would it be?
Okay.
Meowths?
All right.
Yeah, meowths. Right in the meowth.
I like how you were just so sure of yeah. Why are we even debating this?
This has been settled in replay lore for many a year.
That's right. I remember. I remember my grandson's name. What's my grandson's name?
Professor
Oh, it's
Oak
Mouth.
He used to be a journeyman, and he lost a lot of his brain cells along the way. He needs them,
But-
so he. This is so early in Pokemon lore, if you think about it, because
Maybe
he,
even the earliest.
he invented a Pokedex, but it's like somebody inventing like a book, and now being like, "Hey, take this book and write down every animal you see," because I don't know what the hell's out there. Right?
Good luck, child.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's safe. Is that an SNES?
Well, it's
Yeah.
so weird that society seems so advanced, yet they haven't found these animals yet. Like they're new to the they've only explored half the island.
Everything's surprising. They also don't really know that other lands exist
Yeah,
yet,
yeah.
and that
What
other
have they done?
Pokemon are out and about.
Yet we have consoles.
Here's a fun Easter egg, Kyle. Go talk to the TV. And Jeff Cork, pop quiz, tell me what it's referencing.
There's a movie on TV before.
Oh.
Stand by me.
Stand by me.
Stand By Me. Apparently, Stand By Me is unbelievably popular in Japan.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like a crazy sensation.
That's because
Which,
it's got Kiefer Sutherland in it.
And then there was the Pokemon Go story about the person who found a dead
body,
while playing
yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Parallels.
It's all a circle.
And that's why we're playing this, obviously, is all four of us are hopelessly, I would say,
Stand by
obsessed
me.
It's
with Pokemon Go.
yeah,
to the point where you'll just hear someone in the office yell out, Blastoise! There's a Blastoise!
Which is not an exaggeration. There
Yeah.
was a Blastoise here this morning that I missed.
And then Dan Tack will say, ugh, it's not even that rare, guys. I'm telling you, Jinx is very rare, but here it's very common. Other people... in
Dan is
places-
one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to games. Also one of the most needlessly confident people I know in information that relates to video games.
In our inner communication channel for Game Informer, Dan Tech called himself, and I quote, a really powerful player
a really
Pokemon
powerful
Go.
player of Pokemon Go. Yeah.
What level are you at, Reiner?
I am level 14. What are you?
I mean, that's fine if you don't want to be a really powerful player. I'm 16.
Whoa,
Oh my
powerful
gosh.
player over here.
Where are you guys at? Are you powerful
Yeah,
players?
17 probably.
Really?
I'm like way behind you guys. I'm 10, man. I'm like stocking
That
up
makes
on
sense, Kyle,
on
actually.
Pidgeys and Rattatas to get a nice evolve a whole bunch at once with a lucky egg. So I'll jump a whole bunch at once.
You're
here
10,
soon.
much like Butch, the protagonist of Pokemon Red and Blue. When characters in the Pokemon universe turn 10 years old, they're kicked out of their homes, their fatherless homes, their Mr. Mime-filled homes. Oh, God, this looks like Butts.
What are you going to pick?
I'm fed up with waiting.
This is really interesting to see now and kind of compare to Go. And but what we're missing is that's the big question I've had, and I've asked these guys a lot at work. For Hanson, you were out doing something top secret, but could Go potentially be a new standard for Pokemon as
Yes.
the flagship series?
It is. I mean, I think the Pokemon Go sensation and phenomenon going on in society right now is bigger than peak Pokemon back in 1998.
Yeah, it is. You're totally right. It's a cultural phenomenon that's occurring right now. We'll see if it goes past a couple weeks. But what's happened right now is people are coming together. They're going outside. They're catching Pokemon. You see it everywhere. Wherever you go in our neck of the woods is people on the phone catching stuff and coming together to these Pokestops.
It's confusing when I walk by somebody on the sidewalk that's under the age of 35 and they aren't playing Pokemon Go. It has just become such a default because I look at everybody's phone. I take my owly eyes, my hoot eyes, and I look directly at their phone, and it's always Pokemon Go. And if someone's texting, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Get the hell out of here.
Who the hell? What conversation is more important than playing Pokemon Go right now?
Yes.
And the Pokemon you're seeing on the TV here now in replay are the same ones that you can catch in the core Pokemon Go game.
Correct, Mundo.
But the second question I've had on top of that is,
Well, we gotta answer
what are
it.
we missing as Pokemon Go players that's in the core game?
Kyle instantly answered it
Well, we
by saying a story, and you poo-pooed that idea, and you were super
guys,
aggressive
we
about
have
it.
we have a very important question we have to answer.
What's that?
here?
I agree.
Who's our starter?
Lord Red.
If we're going to get to Brock, I would recommend going Squirtle.
All right, let's go Squirtle.
Squirtle the tiny turtle?
Yeah,
He's
which
James
is weird.
Bond.
He says tiny turtle, and then Bulbasaur just says seed. Like, what is that a reference to?
What?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. What did Charmander say? Real quick. We're going Squirtle, by the way. Lizard. Okay. Yeah.
They were much simpler back in the day.
I don't think it's simple. It's like a stroke.
All right, so let's get Squirtle then.
Yeah.
But back
do
to
it.
the question.
Yeah,
What are we missing? Like, is there a need to go back and play Sun and Moon when it comes out? Or is Go where we do our Pokemon playing?
I mean, it still is. I mean, obviously, there's a million more Pokemon, and there will be in Sun and Moon than in
There'll
the
be
original.
new ones. Yes.
And it's fun you get a better sense of progression, I think. Like, the candy system, I think, is really interesting in Pokemon Go, and as time goes on, I appreciate it more and more. Just for, like, allowing some real oddballs to be out there instead of every gym just to be taken over by mains, which is what it would be if it was more in vein of, like, the Pokemon mainline games. But if you want a storyline, if you want an ending, which is nice, we can all get back to our lives. But I want to know, do you think Pokemon Go will significantly boost sales of the next Pokemon game?
Yeah, that's the question we've
think
been
it
talking
will.
about a lot, too, is...
Guys, can I not pick numbers? I can't be butts too?
No.
I have to go letters here?
Pokemon don't have butts.
TWO.
Oh, there we go. Look at you. You're so smart.
You're doing it. Yeah, we don't have numbers. I assume I saw
important.
I saw a couple people that were really into Pokemon Go on Twitter saying like, "Oh, you know what? I might go pick up X and Y at this point just to rekindle this love affair."
Yeah, just out of curiosity. But there's the thing that I think Jeff Cork pointed out was Go is free. You already have the device in your pocket. What is the investment just to take a chance on a Pokemon game you've never played before is you got to buy a new handheld.
Right.
And you got to buy the game for
Yes.
what, $40?
Right, very much so. Yeah, it's funny. Like I was meeting up with a friend recently.
I already don't believe this story.
No, it actually really happened. And he's like, "Oh, let's go out Pokewalking. We're gonna catch some stuff. It's gonna be so much fun." He's like, "And I'm gonna bring my 3DS because he's like one of those hardcore, high-level competitive Pokemon guys."
Okay.
He's like, "I'm gonna bring my 3DS. I'm gonna battle everybody. It's gonna be great." I'm like, "Out of your effing mind? No one else is carrying around a 3DS. Like, this is your best chance for maybe finding somebody in the wild to battle with a 3DS, but I guarantee it's not gonna happen."
That never even occurred to me. I was like, oh, maybe I can find some people to play Pokemon, like, you know, Pokemon Omega Red or something with. No, that did not occur to me at
No,
all.
of course not.
No,
It's
I
fun-
mean, you have it in your on your phone. You're playing the new Pokemon experience.
Right. Well, playing is tough.
The one thing that the game doesn't have is combat, which we're seeing right now. You have it at gyms,
Yeah.
It's
but
hard to
you
get
don't.
to, yeah.
Like, basically, every Pokemon in the wild is near death.
Yep.
Right? Like, they are all on the verge of dying, and you're capturing them. But in this game...
There's an awful plague just in the world of Pokemon
yeah, it
Go.
must be. Because in this game, you need to whittle down their health down to, well, it would be red, like a little
Right.
sliver. But
Right.
the health meter is always red on this one. But to be able to capture them.
Right. Oh, this music is so good in this game. This song in particular.
I
What's
love it.
up? Cork, I know you're being sarcastic. Are you not?
This little squeal.
This song is so good. I mean, obviously the orchestral version that's in Smash Brothers or something is going to be the way to go, but this game has one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Yeah, it's got
so
some
good.
great songs to it, but I don't think this is one of them.
Oh,
It's
you're
just
nuts.
you must like it when like a police car drives by and it's got a siren.
You know.
Hanson just starts
coming
humming.
along.
I love this
At G.I. Jeff, everybody.
the radio
Please tell
tuned
him
to static.
how wrong he is.
I love it.
Trainer Battle is one of the most classic Pokemon themes. Look, you're listening
It doesn't
to
have anything on the intro song that we were listening to at the beginning.
That boob is just right there. Thanks, Jeff.
You picked the wrong Pokemon.
Yeah, F you,
Yeah, I got
buddy.
$175 for winning. All right.
Noise.
This is a better song.
No!
I mean,
Are
it's
you
not,
out of your
it's not
mind?
piercing my ears like the other one. Jeff's right. It was like,
Hanson, come back! Don't leave!
whoa!
I don't know what just happened there.
You had to work out some steam with that
light
switch.
switch.
Really.
Jeez.
Do we need to
Get a
heal
switch.
before we go off into the wild? Can I do that?
No, man, go for it.
All right, here we go. I mean, let's see. How do I got start here. I can look at my guy. Butts too.
You can get a map from
What is he?
your
He's like a
parents' house.
seal or a bird or
It's
something?
Kirby with
Again,
the
it's
green
the
beard.
beautiful arts that's available in
See.
Pokemon Red and Blue.
He looks a lot different. He looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Reject?
Well, he's a tiny turtle.
So I guess that makes sense.
Hold
So-
me closer.
Going back to
we go.
98, I
Oh.
played this at Game Informer. I did a strategy guide on how to catch all the Pokemon, all that
Yeah?
stuff. So all 151, 152, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys? Where were you guys at in life? Like Ben Hansen, we'll start with you. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're younger.
Yeah.
Was this the
Wiser.
thing you played in grade school,
It was
junior
a
high?
middle school thing. So
Okay.
I was 11 when it hit, and it hit hard.
Well, yeah, that's what I want. That's basically what I want to know is how it compares to what you're seeing now with Go.
Oh, well, it's tough. I mean, I'm sure Go is just nutsos in school, but what was fun back then is it was all brand new, and you were learning about these. And you had 151 things to memorize beyond memorizing the presidents and countries of the world. It's like, well, let's get down to this whole beast. And also, like, trading was really fun because every once in a while you'd find somebody else with a link cable, and that was a real thrill. It's like debating about the trade. You know, it's basically Settlers of Catan. It's like the thrill is arguing about trading, and that's such a key part of Pokemon in my mind because of those middle school days. And Pokemon Go could really use it because you have all these great social interactions with strangers.
Right.
It's wonderful, but like you just make out for a while and then move on. Like, that's,
Wow.
No, but not just like you just like, hey, what's your strategy for catching? Caught anything cool? All right, see ya. I love you.
Tonguing, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but like being able to be like, what do you have? What are you gunning for? What do you want to level up? How much candy you got? Give me what you got. Look at this gun. Like there's like interactions that you can have with trading that would just blow this thing wide
and it's
open.
coming. I mean, they have confirmed that it will be coming.
That's their
Niantic,
priority.
the developer,
Yeah,
said
maybe we
yes.
should turn on an MFing server first.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, the
Server
game
pro- I've
working
never
would be
had a
great.
game crash more than this one.
It works like literally 40% of the actions that I want to do in Pokemon Go I can do, and that's abysmal. But
then it's just staring at a wallpaper essentially, like
right,
not doing anything.
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Ooh, I gotta
Still
use it.
game of the year, but 40% of the time.
Game of the year.
I don't know yet. There's still a lot of time left, but I'm so in love with this phenomenon. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen come out of this industry. For the phenomenon alone, it might take my number one spot.
You're not the only one I've heard internally even throwing that around as
Oh,
like,
really?
possible.
But then we
like
also have-
personal top 10. I don't know about it would be hard to make an argument for, true game of the year just cuz it doesn't work very well.
Right.
But we'll get into that, when it's time to have those discussions obviously.
And not to name any names, but there are people saying like it doesn't even deserve a spot on the top 50 at the end of the year.
Someone said that?
Oh yeah.
What garbage man in this office? Ugh. It's not that new person, is it?
No.
Okay. Good.
So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And this person did give it a legitimate shot and just did not like it. Did not think it's a good video game. And you're seeing it score. I think IGN gave it a 6 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not scoring super well either. But
Again, the app is borderline trash.
I asked Dan Tack, I was like, what first experience have you liked more, playing Pokemon Go or World of Warcraft? And he's like, that's a really interesting question because they're so distinct, but they both have that same kind of feeling of doing something new in the game space, right?
Right.
And he said it's really hard to answer that. He said probably more WoW because that's more geared toward him, but he definitely sees, this is one of his favorite experiences in a while. He walked 15 miles one day. I know you did the same thing.
Yeah.
Just out exploring, finding new things in the world, but also leveling doing things he loves in games, leveling characters and gaining new monsters.
Feeling
and
a
stuff
sense of
like
progression, charging your
Watching-
battery.
Watching parents pull their children closer.
It's funny because I talked to so many people walking around over the course of this weekend, and it's fun because I just got into a rhythm of assuming everybody's a crazy Pokemon fan because most people you talk to, they're playing the game. But I ran into this one guy and we're just talking, shooting the breeze, and I was like, God, there's actually a Dratini just right down the road here that I just missed. Like my phone died the second that it popped up and it's killed me. And he looked at me like I was a crazy person. He's like, what the hell's a Dratini? And I'd be like, it turns into Dragonite. It's like the long, skinny water one. And just realized oh yeah, people have vague memories of Pokemon and everyone's been absorbing this crap for 20 years.
There's some people that whose that Pokemon thing is like a legitimate riddle. I don't know. Who could that be?
Some kind of bird? I don't know.
But no, that's me. Like I wrote a strategy guide on this. I've played a lot of the Pokemon. I don't remember most of these guys. Like I'll see it pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Well, you also are one of those guys that goes on Twitter and you're like, I have Bird and Wormamon, trying to be all fucking jokey. You remember a lot of this stuff, you hack.
I don't think that's my Twitter account, but
That's how I read. That's
that
the
sounds
voice
like
I read
good
all your tweets
quality
in.
material. Whoever's doing that.
But there's a lot of people that are playing the dumb of like, I don't know what these birds are. It's like, yeah, just read the name. It's easy.
Have you guys talked to your parents about Pokemon Go?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I've had the conversation where they're like, what's this Pokemon Go thing? And I had to explain it to them.
I had my mom write, and she's like, Dad and I went running at Eden Prairie Park, and there were a bunch of kids there on their phones talking about this Pokemon game as we were going there, and they decided to go to a Culver's restaurant because they heard there was something great over there. And she said at what point Dad saw some kid get on his bike, look at his phone, and fall off into some weeds.
That's good. I think Culver's has the Butterfree burger. Kyle, if you don't recall what you're doing here, you're going to want to go to the shop to get Oak's parcel and deliver that back to him.
Do you remember where the shop is?
It'll look like the Poke Shop.
Okay.
There it is.
we go.
Pokemart. There it
Right.
is, whatever it's called.
I think we've talked about this before. I actually started with Gold. Gold was the first one I played. I never actually played through
Rod Gold
Real.
instead of silver.
That's what my friend loaned to me.
Oh, okay.
Josh,
You mean borrow?
nice guy.
Did you play the remake then? Of
Heart
the
Gold?
originals?
No, actually, no, I didn't. I never did.
Did you play the A button? Okay. So you've never played these?
No.
What about the eShop release? Did you check it out?
I
then?
downloaded Yellow. I started playing Yellow. Yeah.
Oh, yellow.
Sorry to disappoint you. I like Pikachu.
Yeah, you're not getting the.
Did I get? You were yelling at me.
You're
Did
good,
I
you're
get my stuff
You're
here?
so good.
Okay.
As much as I like that they're adding new Pokemon and types and stuff like that, I haven't been able to stay with this series because it always feels like the same kind of progress that I'm making, right? And then I don't have that legacy collection of my Pokemon being carried forward. At least I didn't until the new stuff that they hooked
Pokebank, yeah.
the Pokebank, where I was I was capturing the exact same ones again and had to level them up again, and I just felt like I was doing the same thing too much in these Pokemon games.
Yeah, I always look forward to Pokemon games, then I get into it, and it's like, oh, here's the beginning of yet another Pokemon game. Like, I'm good for a lot of enthusiasm once per handheld generation, and then it's like, once I get into like, okay, later generations, all right, here we go.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
There's a murder happened here.
Humpty Dumpty
this
fell down.
This is private property. Excuse me.
You're going to want to go back down to Pallet Town there, Kyle.
I gotta go all the way back to Pallet Town?
Yeah, I know you want to
All
go to Pound Town, but Pallet Town is actually the place to be.
So what do you think?
Are you gonna give that a high five?
You guys are adorable. But what do you guys think they need to add to Go to really make it a game that people are going to keep going back to? Because that's a big question people have is,
A story.
Are you kidding me?
They're going to need some kind of like
quest?
some kind of progression beyond just squabbling over a gym 15 times a day.
You say, like, it's greatly lacking that. I mean, the fact that it's doing so gangbusters, like, I don't think you need a story. I don't think you need anything more.
Okay.
This is it.
Well, clearly it doesn't need anything because it's doing great.
Well, what's the allure then? Is it just getting to level cap or collecting all 151?
Collecting as many as you can and talking about it with friends.
It's a thing that you can just pull out your phone. Hey, look, there's a thing here, and then like Hanson's saying, 60% of the time it won't work, and then you just restart your phone, and then oh look, it's gone now.
Right.
And then you go back about your business, but you're classified as a active player.
Exactly.
Right, and then you can't sleep at night because you can just keep thinking about Pokemon Go.
How much have you guys spent on it?
Zero so far.
$5 in.
For what?
Expanding the size of my backpack and Pokemon pack, whatever that is.
Okay, nice.
And then with the 100 I had left, I got another incubator.
Wowza. I had a crazy experience this week.
Tell.
One of the weirdest things.
Basics, yeah.
What's that?
Well, you got to go. We can't. You were on a secret mission, doing
Reiner,
stuff.
I'm a pro.
Okay.
I know how to dodge specifics.
All right, Austin Powers. Let's do this.
Immediately list the city he was at.
So I was seeing this one. I was in a very tech-focused place, right? And so it was like a Tuesday night, and I decided to go for a little bit of a walk. And it was like, oh, there's this big park over here. Let me go check this out. Went there, 10:30 at night on a Tuesday. You not, no exaggeration, hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon fans out in this gigantic park that was just covered in lures.
Well, what was that atmosphere like? Was everybody just face down in their phones, or were they screaming out like when Pokemon were showing up?
Yeah, this is the amazing part, because it was such a giant space that you could be on one side of the field in the park and completely miss out on a Pokemon on the other. So it was all like crowdsourcing where the good Pokemon were. So it was like the size of like, I don't know, maybe a football field and a half going all the way around it.
How many stops in this?
There were like 6,
Okay,
5,
and they
6.
were all lured at all times.
Oh
man.
yeah. And so people would shout it out. So like everyone would be kind of milling about, talking. People were friendly. Everyone's great. And then you hear somebody go, Squirtle! On the far side, and everyone like pauses and waits, and a couple people walk over, and then you start to hear the echoes like, Squirtle! 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 And then it's like, this is no BS. And then literally in the night, very few lights out there, hundreds and hundreds of people would run, and you'd all run and scream like maniacs, get to the stop, get the Pokemon, and then wait, and then you hear somebody yell, Onyx! It's like, wait. And then you wouldn't hear a follow-up. It's like, okay, that one's just BS. But everyone's, of course, making jokes, too. So it's like, Pidgey, Zubat. But then you hear like a, Bulbasaur. And it's like, oh, God, please let it be true. Bulbasaur. And then, like, the stampede starts. It was this crazy social dynamic. And then this guy pulled into the parking lot and rolled down his windows and started blasting the Pokemon.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
And then...
That squealy music we just heard.
I wish it was. That would be the more hardcore choice. But he plays the opening from the show and is blasting it. And then as like a tip of the cap for this crazy group dynamic, everyone started yelling, Red car! Red car! to like signify like thumbs up, dude. Because that's what you say. When you see something cool, you shout it out.
So did you just see like waves of lit up phones sort of like gyrating through the field as like they all like emanated towards different things?
It was actually being like a large crowd running at night. It was a little bit scary. It was a weird feeling.
So my daughter last night, on a Wednesday night, said, hey, I want to go to Valley Fair. This is a place in Minnesota with roller coasters and rides for kids and all
Happiest
that
place
stuff.
on earth.
And usually we'd say no, like let's wait till Saturday. But I was like, man, I wonder what kind of Pokemon are at Valley Fair. So we went Wednesday night. We had 2 hours till 10 o'clock, well past her bedtime. But we went there, and again, I kid you not, I would say maybe 70% of the people in the park had their heads down in the phones. There were groups of like 15 to 12 people walking around. But Valley Fair smartly, prizes at their games, their carnival games, they're giving out all sorts of different Pokemon toys, like stuffed Bulbasaurs and stuff. So you see these people walking around with like armfuls of Pokemon stuff and playing the game. It was crazy. It's like the Pokemon park right now.
And it's so crazy that this is the original 151. Like my peak nostalgia for this series, that's all anybody's talking about right now. It's so weird in the year 2016. Kyle, do you know what you're doing, by the way? Do you have Pokeballs?
No, I gotta go get them from the mart.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I think could really put Pokemon Go over is the legendaries, how they dish those out. Or let's say there's an event somewhere. They have like a Pokemon thing going on. If you go there for 3 days, you get a rare version of Pikachu.
I could see
You know,
them
with like
doing
wearing a
that.
hat or something like that. That
Right.
just makes it a unique thing you don't want to get rid of.
Well, what's
that
the-
could really put this game over again.
Yeah, for sure. And like in the debut trailer, I don't know if you noticed that crazy CG thing, but like everyone's in Times Square fighting Mewtwo. And if that's
It's like a raid.
yeah, if that's like a hint of where they're going, where they just drop Mewtwo for like this 1 day period, like they can flood the economy.
It could
in
cause
any city
problems.
they want.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
shut down traffic. If there's like a Mewtwo in this downtown, like everyone's just gonna everyone's going on their lunch break all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
You know?
Now, does he just spawn there and then you just get him like a normal Pokemon, or is it going to be more like what was that game, Infinity Blade, Chair's Infinity Blade, where there'd be bosses with like 4 million hit points that collectively people would have to chip away at it before you could get it, and once it was defeated, everyone who chipped away got it.
Right. Yeah, I think maybe they'll treat it more like a gym battle, kind of use that structure a little bit for a singular Pokemon, but I really hope that they do that. I mean, it'd be the smart way to go. I don't understand, though, because the Pokedex just lists, I think it's 136.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not the 151 or whatever.
Right. So, I mean, the 3 legendaries, I understand they want to save those.
Right.
Mewtwo, Mew.
Yeah, who else is at the end there?
I don't know
Missing
who else
no.
is hitting. Yeah, missing number. Yeah,
they got to do something fun with that.
Yeah, they really should. It'd be such a fun.
You want
callback.
to
Game needs
let's
a
just
glitch,
talk to
that's
people
for
about
sure.
that real quick. There was a glitch in this game
Uh-huh.
where there was a blank Pokemon spot, but basically their debug code or whatever
Yeah.
that people discovered through a glitch or something. Right?
You can, I forget. I remember it eventually ends up where you're like going up and down on the side of
Use
this
like
island
surf
coast
or something.
Yeah,
on
and
your
then you can
spot.
stumble across it. It'll like glitch out your game, but it was such a cool, like, weird first interaction with like code and glitches back in the day. Is like, oh yeah, you can get this. It might corrupt your entire save file. It's gonna be insane. Oh, cool guy.
I told this guy I wasn't in a hurry, so now he's showing me stuff. That was maybe a mistake in retrospect.
Yeah.
Well, he's teaching you how to use a Pokeball.
By the way, he
That's
just needed
useful
some coffee,
information.
and he was fine. I know we were all worried about him.
Yeah,
He has
Coughing?
Gallagher hair.
and
Jesse
broken
Ventura
arm.
hair.
Is his hand like up with his fingers out?
A lot of questions for that man.
Bye, old man.
It looks like
It'll
Billy
be fine.
Corgan when he's up.
No kidding. I like the time that we asked Masuda, the director of Pokemon Now, the composer back here, and
Did all the
programmer.
do the sound for Pokemon Go?
Yeah, that's true. But we asked him, what do people do when they're born in a town on the other side of the world where all the super high-level Pokemon are? And he said, I recommend they move.
I think Pokemon Go will probably inspire people to leave their crappy hometowns too, which is
Oh,
good.
yeah.
To flock to the
I'm
cities.
all for that. If
Go to the
you got,
Pokemon Mecca.
yeah, like Hardee's is your one gym in your tiny little crappy town.
Well, I mean, yeah, people from farm towns just like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything.
I kind of want to just drive through rural Minnesota where Game Informer's based and just like crush these little gyms. I think they'd be really satisfying.
You'll be a really powerful player.
And I'll like right before I do it, I'll put my hat backwards like Ash Ketchum. Yeah, I'll be the most powerful player, and then I'll sit back on my Lamborghini Countach.
And some guy just sitting out on a porch.
Nanny to come in.
Some guy sitting on a porch on a rocking chair will just be watching you out in the field, turning your hat around, and just be like, "What the hell is that kid doing?"
he's just been catching Pidgeys all day, and he's got like this one super crazy powerful one.
Speaking of Pidgey, I got one, you guys. I did it.
Pretty good.
So I've been playing this game with my daughter who's 3 years old.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's the best thing ever. She's
Oh.
using her imagination. She's like, look, Pokemon tracks, there's nothing there. So like we're at the Minnesota Zoo playing this game and she's like, run, there's a big one. So we like go sprinting off or like we're sneaking in the brush, like
Oh, good.
hiding, looking for Pokemon.
It captures imaginations, and what more do you want than that?
But we've gone back and started watching
Trading.
the cartoon.
Oh, yeah,
Which I only
lovely.
gave a little chance when I was still an adult, when
adult?
it first came out. But I was like, it's okay. I like Pokemon, but we are loving the hell out of it. It is so good. And
It
it has
is
one of
fun.
the best first shots I've ever seen in a cartoon.
Oh,
where
with
it
the battle.
mimics
Yes,
the Game Boy and then
yes.
fades to like fully
Yeah.
animated. So good.
You know what you need to watch if you just know the games really well? Pokemon Origins, which I think is what it's called. Which is I don't know if they. Oh, this music's so funny to me. It's so ugly. We asked the composer about the specific track. Just everyone, just soak this in for a little
Okay.
while. It's so ugly and weird.
It's intense. For
It's
some
just
reason.
like Psycho on the Grass.
Hanson, could this just be a bad soundtrack?
No, this is
no,
an
no,
amazing
no.
soundtrack. Just this song. I
Jeff
think
Cork,
is,
what are you
is
thinking right now?
weird.
It has its moments.
I'm not saying this is a good song. It's just a funky, weird, bold song.
it's just
Funk. That's yeah.
It's just like the Psycho theme, but just
that's all
like
it is.
digitized.
It's like James Brown's take on the Psycho theme.
Almost like it was randomly created or something.
yeah.
How dare you? What was I talking about before this song kicked
The
in?
Pokemon
The
TV show.
Origins.
Oh yeah. So Origins, it's basically a retelling of the early Pokemon era, except based much more heavily on the show. Or, I'm sorry, on the
games,
game.
yeah.
Whereas the show took a lot of liberties, and this is like a very faithful retelling where the main character's name is Red. It's not Ash. If you like the game, I recommend checking this out. I think they're all up on YouTube. You can just check them out there. But what I love about the first episode ever of the TV show, and it's crazy, is they see a bird in the sky. Do you remember this? And it's like, what is that Pokemon? They didn't pay that off for years
Yeah,
and
it
years.
just disappeared into the sparkles.
Yeah, it's Ho-Oh, which isn't until the Gold-Silver generation.
What did you say?
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
In the first episode of the show, they show Ho-Oh.
What was that? And the game wasn't even out at that point.
No, it was years away.
That's
Let's
crazy.
take a minute, Reiner.
Or wait.
Fully sink
Was
in.
it out in Japan? Because this came out in
No.
95 in Japan.
No.
No, it wasn't even out in Japan yet. I mean, maybe they must have known that it was on the horizon and stuff, but it was a while because I was there playing a lot of like the Japanese version of Gold and Silver on a certain computer.
And speaking of these new games, for people that are watching, there might be some people out there who only play Go and want to get into these older Pokemon games.
gosh.
Which one would you recommend?
I would recommend, Kyle might disagree, X and Y is easy. If you want to have a little more hardcore, old school experience that's still modernized, I'd recommend Soul Silver, Heart Gold. Those are my favorite games, and the remakes, I think, do a really good job.
This is my favorite song. It's just like that siren you hear.
Yeah.
I think X and Y is probably the best starting point right now, today.
But if you want to be a little more old school,
Sure.
Soul Silver and Heart Gold, I think, are
If you can
absolutely
get those,
fantastic.
actually, those ones are really expensive now. It
Is
is.
that
It is
right?
hard to get those with the Pokewalker, the pedometer.
Are you guys buying the Pokemon Go? pedometer?
Man, it sounds
think
like
it's
it's just
happening.
like taking out the gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, the little gameplay that's there of catching the Pokemon where you flick the ball, now all you do is just look at a light and press the button.
then again, a light with a button is probably less likely to crash constantly.
No, you just don't get any feedback when it.
Yeah, you just won't
I
know
see.
you didn't catch anything.
Well, you
Jeff's probably right, actually.
You could use the plus to play while you're driving.
Yeah.
You know, because it vibrates when there's a Pokemon nearby, so you could just press a button.
But if you're driving, you're not going to get anything anyways because it kind of shuts down after a
If
certain...
you're stuck in traffic, you know.
Dan Tack was saying bikes are OP, and I was like, I just walked away from him.
Bikes.
It's like, I'm not having this conversation.
Bikes are OP.
Hey,
God.
speaking of UP, Kyle, what are you doing? Why aren't you using Bubble? Why are you using Tackle?
Because I just tackle straightforward, man.
Bubble is just a more powerful version.
All right, I'll use Bubble.
What are you doing?
I need to heal my guys. I'm in a bad situation, actually.
And one thing that hasn't really come into
He's
play is the different Pokemon types. You have water, grass, all that. It's in the gym battles to a degree in
Yeah.
Go. But man, they really expanded that in the series. I don't know how many types they have now. What is it? 8, 9, something like that?
Yeah,
Good
well,
bet.
Fairy was the last edition. They had like Steel and Dark in the Gold Silver generation. Yeah, I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm forgetting.
But you're not setting up your team like you would in this game. You know,
Right.
each gym kind of presents a different challenge that you can strategize to. But this game, that was a huge focus, I remember, of these games,
yeah.
especially battling friends and stuff like that.
Right. God, the Elite Four in these early games stresses me out so much. I feel like in the later games, everything just gets so easy. Maybe it's just I was a dumb kid. But even I feel like Soul Silver playing through that again, like the Elite Four is brutal.
It helps to have that experience share thing. Like, there's like
Right.
people argue against that because they say it makes the game too easy, you know. Like, but I don't know. I like it. I hate that like you have a team of like 5 other Pokemon that usually are just like not getting any experience while you're walking around fighting, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking this is slow and boring, this is the game. But this is the game. Like, he's going to go battle a gym, but then
Yeah.
be in another town and doing the same kind of progress, going into a different field. And
I think I want to go.
that
get
is the
another-
game. That is
another
Pokemon at its core. You know, we're doing it in real life now.
Right.
We're living it.
We're sitting at our desks and just yelling out Pokemon names.
Right. Which
is
is what
fun.
I was doing actually before Pokemon Go came out. So I'm glad now I have an excuse and I look
And
less insane.
Reiner keeps yelling Snorlax like
Oh
every
my
5
God.
minutes.
It's not
the best.
funny. It's not funny.
Well, no, it's funny because Dan Tack freaks out.
every time.
And yesterday there was a point where his phone wasn't working and he was losing his mind. But one of these days there's actually going to be a Snorlax and
None of
he's
us
going to
are-
miss it
Well, Jeff Cork caught one in the kitchen for the beta, didn't
During
you?
the
Yeah.
beta, yeah. The beta was a whole different thing, man. It was crazy. Remember those days, Cork?
Oh my God! It didn't crash one time.
We got
Is that right?
It's true.
No, I think we got like 1,000 coins every day we woke up and could just buy Pokeballs, and it was good times.
Heady days.
And right before the beta closed, they basically just turned the faucet on all the way up, and there were just Pokemon
Yeah,
everywhere.
I fired up and my phone was just like, there was like a dozen
Oh my
Pokemon all
God.
around me. Oh, I just got tired of capturing them all. Ugh.
Are you into this game as much as you were into the beta? You're
It's
in
all
this-
right. I think I'm
right.
incredibly frustrated by having to restart my
Yeah.
phone all the time because like it just freezes when you try to capture.
Well, don't worry. Niantic is hiring some technical engineers. They can finally turn on the other servers. So once,
I'm glad
once
they're
that-
adding them to the team.
Yeah,
finally.
right. So once they go through the application process, I would love just a.
Who's your
as-
favorite Pokemon?
That's the interview.
Do
Have you ever heard of Ingress?
I would love to know
Read that.
technically just what's going on. If it just looks like a garage filled with server space, like Silicon Valley.
It's like
except they're
Silicon
just-
Valley.
They're all on fire.
Fire extinguisher just constant.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't.
That actually happened in Silicon Valley.
Sure. Yeah. So are they like running out? I don't know. I would love to know what the constraints are and why this is still running like such a turd.
And I gotta like they just launched it, as of Wednesday in the UK,
oh yeah.
Yep, Germany,
which is
UK
like,
now.
man,
yeah.
you should stabilize this first locally.
Stabilize the UK first.
You okay there?
I'm sorry.
That was a really good joke. I don't know why he just gives them high fives. Seems like that's worthy of everyone, but
Yeah.
all right. But we're almost out of time here. Anything else you want to add about Red and Blue, your experiences when you played it? But you didn't play them.
Yeah, I started with gold.
Jeff,
Yeah.
did they have them in Alaska?
Ah!
Yeah. Place was lousy with them.
Yeah, people played it.
I was I'm too old though, I think, to really get into it. So like
No.
at my school, it was called
College.
so
Oh boy. Yeah, I feel like I felt a little bit too old at the time, being like 6th grade or whatever, but now it's just silly. It's like, oh, that was peak Pokemon, and I soaked it in like a maniac.
Yeah, it was big, but I can't believe, again, the same Pokemon from 98, just bigger than it's ever been, and one of the biggest cultural things we've seen in the gaming space. Like, it's
So cool.
unbelievable.
So
Nostalgia.
fun.
powerful thing.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, how much do you think nostalgia factors into...
100%.
It's huge.
It's pretty high. Yeah.
Except for the kids now that know nothing about Pokemon
That's 'cause
that are
they're-
getting into it the first time.
Parents are hyperventilating about it. You will like this.
Be like me. Give me eternal youth.
That's why you have kids, right? I mean,
Yeah.
That's the
to show them Pokemon.
That's why you name them after you.
Do you think? Yeah.
Ta-da!
But I'm just adoring it, playing it with my daughter. Like, I haven't had this much fun with Pokemon ever.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's been a blast, and
Toys.
we'll see how long it lasts. But it is such a cool thing, and I hope they said every 2 weeks updates. We'll see if they can hit that, and what these updates are going to be, if they're just fixes or if they are content updates, like we said, trading, potentially raids.
Yeah, the next thing is trading. It seems like.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I'm right there with Jeff. I don't know if you could give like lore, it's in the sense of a traditional story, or if you do like quests that send you to different places
I like the idea of quests. Yeah, but
in your local area.
Yeah.
Or if you want to take like a 20-mile one, maybe that gives you a better loot or whatever. But
Hey, iPhone boys, this game's pretty good too. Pokemon Red and Blue. Check it out on the eShop today.
or I guess if you're weird guy yellow,
Yes, if you're a
That came out
pervert,
too.
yellow.
you get to start with
Pikachu follows you around. It's adorable. It's like I'm living the show.
I think you mean.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Pikachu.
But thanks for watching. Let's move on to
Bug. All
What?
right. This is Harry
Harry
Bug.
Bug.
He's a Harry Bug.
The end.
let's move on to a second segment.
Let's try this again. Now concentrate. Think Pichu, Lugia, Pikachu. Chikorita, Cyndaquil. Cool.
The new Collector's Edition Gold and Silver Pokemon Game Boy Color. A true Pokemon master may do anything to get it.
Oh, how about 5 more for my friends?
All right, Ben Hansen. Now this is a song. This is a theme song for you.
Okay, but again, this is a terrible version of it. You
Yeah,
can't
it sounds like real music.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Oh,
Now
Dr.
this-
Jones.
Now this is a game. This looks like Gunman Clive.
It does kind of, yeah. All right,
Why?
so I got.
What is happening with the lighting? What
I
just
can
happened?
pause. I got two buttons. I got to
He's
jump.
going through all of the buttons
Yeah.
on the Game Boy.
Are
Let's
you
see.
in the cave trying
Whoa.
to find the Cross of Coronado right now?
Yeah.
Is that in the timeline?
Yeah, there's a
And you-
vampire.
Oh boy!
I'm into that.
Oh, just soak that rope.
Oh,
yeah.
You look like a bad guy.
Take this,
What?
adult. I'm never growing up.
Whoa!
have
Oh my
a hat.
God!
Yeah,
Wait,
shouldn't
he's
this
got
open
quite
with
a
River
jump.
Phoenix?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the giraffe and all that nonsense?
Yeah, shouldn't they have
The train?
Yeah.
Or the boat, right? Isn't he on a boat?
Well,
Isn't
he
that-
gets on a boat eventually.
Okay.
He picks up the cross, and he gets old. Because they put the hat on him,
No,
and
there's-
then he
This
looks
is on
down.
the train, the circus train.
There's
Yeah.
the scene. There's the
There's
scene
a giraffe and a
where he's
snake.
on the boat. That's like the opening of the movie, isn't it? It's
Kyle,
train. It's not a
listen to
boat.
what I'm saying.
All
It's
right.
this opening with the Cross of Coronado with River
Okay.
Phoenix and Young. Then the guy says, "Good job, kid."
You're 1 in a million.
Yeah, and then he puts the hat on him, and then the hat tilts up, and he gets punched on the boat in the rain.
Okay. That's all
I wrote a paper on the intro to Last Crusade.
Oh, did you really?
I really did.
Really nice sequence.
It's so
How was the
good.
paper?
I'm sure it's hot trash if I went out and dug it up. Unlike this game, which is like uncovering a rare gem that belongs in a gaming museum.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's a
That was a one-hit kill.
The soup can moving at a very slow
Look how
rate of fire.
disappointed he is in this game.
You are going to die.
Can I-
paintbrush or a
can I
torch?
get that?
It's a
So I
paintbrush.
get it. All right. And then
Okay, so then it lit up because
then I
he
can-
had-
Oh,
can
you've got a timer,
pause.
and then when the timer runs out, it goes total dark.
oh,
Duck.
Oh
there
my
we
gosh.
go.
This,
Pro move right there.
I think licensed games on the Game Boy were probably the peak of game design.
Yeah.
I think so too. A lot of thought went into this.
They're all really good.
They're all the best.
Best licensed Game Boy game.
And Spielberg probably saw this, and it influenced the fate or what
right.
his next movie, Crystal Skulls.
Yeah. Yeah,
Best
it's more
licensed Game Boy?
believable. I think of Darkwing Duck. That's a really good one.
You see the good and stuff, Hanson. What did you think of Crystal Skulls?
I only saw it once in the theater. I did not like it. I remember I went with my mom because we're both big Indiana Jones fans, and the line that really made me laugh
He was trying to leave.
is the aliens at the end, and it was knowledge they were after the whole time. Like, my mom and I laughed out loud in the theater at that.
What the hell?
So not a good film. I did
I can't
think
get past this guy.
I like the moment when, like, after the dumb nuke fridge or whatever, when he's being like
boy.
hosed off, and they're like brushing him down, and they start to like brush his junk, and he just gives like this look like, and he like grabs the brush and moves back up. I thought that was a good, cute little joke.
I liked the very first shot where you see his silhouette, his shadow,
Okay.
after getting out of the trunk of the car or whatever, and he
Yeah.
puts on his hat and you see the silhouette. It was just like, okay, that's awesome.
And I like when Mutt McDumbface at the
His
end
son,
he
yes.
gets the hat, and then Indiana Jones grabs it off his effing head. That was a really satisfying moment. Like, oh yeah, you think we're gonna pass the torch? Nope, we're clutching this to the grave because now we're coming out with another Indiana
Yeah.
Jones movie.
Obviously, Crystal Skull is the worst one in the series. I'm going to say the best one is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You said Temple of Doom before.
No. That's number 2.
Last Crusade is the best one.
Last Crusade is the best.
And then
by a
I go
mile.
Last Crusade.
You're absolutely dead wrong.
You need to watch these again. You need to watch Indiana Jones. For
I
once in
have
your
watched
life.
them.
You could not be more incorrect.
There's just something about the father-son relationship that was just too campy for me in Last Crusade. It's good humor and stuff
yeah.
like that, but I really liked the intensity of the Indiana Jones and the spelunking kind of feel of Raiders and Temple. Temple went for it like 100%.
Yeah.
There was the short round stuff and his wife that was annoying at times, but I mean that was a dark movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the
This
classic
guy
lore.
pulling out hearts and
Yeah, it's
man,
like, oh, it's George Lucas's divorce. It's all about that. But, I mean, I think everybody says Raiders, and that's fine. Raiders is amazing, no doubt about it. But I think going back and watching those, Last Crusade is so much more fun, and I feel like it has so much more heart,
Yep.
and it's funnier. It's like, it's everything
It
I
is
want
the
from a
best.
movie. Yeah, it's unbelievable. That makes me so emotional. God, when he's on the blimp with his dad, he's like, we never talked. And he's like, well, what do you want to talk about, Junior? Let's talk right now. And he's like, ugh. And then when he thinks that he dies later, and his dad's like, 5 minutes. I just needed 5 minutes. It's so sweet.
It's good. Yeah.
And he gets Hitler's autograph, and it's funny.
It's funny. They make
The
it
trial,
funny.
the trial at the end is amazing, by the way.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's fantastic. But at the same time, everything about Raiders, I would say, is great. Everything about that movie,
Everything about everything.
start to finish, that's just a wonderful ride.
Spielberg's
It's a
best
fun
film?
movie.
Is it what?
I think
Is it
E.T.
Spielberg's
is his
best
best film.
AI.
AI. Color,
half of it.
that color light purple.
Like BFG.
Battle Horse? What was that called? War
War
Horse?
Horse. I haven't
Battle
seen
Horse.
War Horse.
I haven't seen it either. I saw it jump on a tank. I was like, oh, that's probably
Oh,
the best movie
actually,
ever made.
probably Close Encounters. Actually, I really love Close
Ooh,
Encounters.
Close
Oh,
Encounters
that's
is
number
great.
one. Interesting.
Yeah,
Of the
that's
third
good.
kind.
Yes, of the third
Okay.
kind. Yeah. Let's be clear.
That was a good theme song, too.
Great theme song. Oh, it sounds like trash. You can't even hear it. It's just screeching.
Just yelling at the aliens.
It's like he's playing it on a keyboard or something.
Get out of here,
cars,
aliens.
aliens too.
You forgot to say, duh, my name is Jeff and Reiner.
I'm old.
Kyle, where do you sit on the best Indiana Jones movie? Debate.
It's been a while. I guess
chair?
I would probably say Raiders, but I haven't watched them all I guess the last time I watched them was when they came out on DVD. So
Which
it's been
means
a
you were
little while.
6.
Oh, wow.
On DVD?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on.
Be reasonable.
7.
Okay, thank you.
How's this game?
Awful.
This
The
game is
controls
awful.
Suck.
I don't think Kyle's getting through this cave.
No.
Let's take a look at one more game. All right, Toxic Crusaders. Anyone have any knowledge of what this is based on?
Toxic Avenger.
Ooh, let's see.
Created by what company, Jeff?
Trauma.
And it is a campy horror film from the...
Comedy, horror.
80s.
Where should we go, guys? No
And you
Zone?
can see
you gotta do
Headbanger?
Toxic.
girls with their shirts off.
Toxic. That is
that a
the
bunch.
Toxic Toxic Crusader.
He's a Toxic Avenger, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's a mop in his hand.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason this should be a children's game, like, based on
Is
the
this
film,
a children's
right?
game?
I mean, it's a video game for kids, right?
It
Aren't
has
video
some
games for
mature
kids?
themes like mopping, nuclear power.
Yeah. What is the environment?
Yeah, so basically he got, splashed by a barrel of nuclear waste.
Yeah, kind
A
of
janitor.
like that guy in RoboCop, but he
Yeah.
didn't end up on someone's windshield.
Yeah,
a shame.
he was cleaning pools and he got bullied a lot, I think.
Big time by the jocks.
That's right, those jocks.
And there are boobies in it?
Yeah.
Is that the most memorable thing of this movie for you? Is boobies?
It's super violent.
Super violent.
Oh, really?
Lots
Yeah.
of gore.
I didn't know that.
All right, let's listen real closely here.
What? I'm like in a no-win situation here.
Jeff,
Yeah.
what do you think? This one better than that battle song in Pokemon?
Absolutely insane.
They're a bunch of whack jobs.
These guys are from Final Fight, by the way, with the radiation symbol on them. We fought them before.
Jeff,
Oh, this is old hat.
Yeah.
you mentioning boobies reminds me. I was watching a film on an airplane recently. It contained boobies and butts.
Like, actually pumped
on your
through
little
the,
screen?
pumped
Yes.
through the airplane,
Uh-oh.
or was it your own personal device that you brought?
No. It was on the headrest.
Did you cup your hands over it and just lean in?
I wanted to. It was really embarrassing.
What movie was it?
Everybody Wants Some, the Linklater movie.
Oh,
There's like
really?
this big like sex montage. And it's like, boy, I'm not sitting next to a child, but if I was, I would feel really weird. Just like that butt cloud that's pooping. Look at that butt cloud.
Interesting fact, they actually, the butt clouds and the butts on the characters are the same model.
Is that right?
That's right.
Well, butts are like opinions. Everyone has a bad texture.
Pokemon Go's data is on the butt cloud.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's what the problem.
So what happened, Hanson? Did your neighbors make fun of you, or did they were like, hey, what you watching there?
No, they're like, hey, tune in. Check this guy out. This guy's cool.
Everybody wants some except for me. Can I get another seat, please?
See, next time on an airplane, Hanson, you should look up Team America and watch that on there and
That's a
see
good
what
idea.
that's like.
Or you can watch Magic Mike XXL. I don't know if we told that story.
I think we did.
I like that
put it
story,
on.
though.
I put it on Kyle's headrest.
No, seriously?
while I
While
was
he
asleep.
was asleep.
How
so,
much-
yeah. So he woke up and he's like, "What are all these naked men?"
So I woke
gyrating
up
in my
and I was
screen?"
like, I just thought it was like a commercial or something, so I nonchalantly just pretended like that I was like, didn't notice, and then the movie kept going, and I was like, wait, what the hell? Why am I watching Magic Mike?
Rubbed your eyes and your tongue like unrolled like cartoon.
How much did that joke cost you, Hanson?
Nothing.
Oh no,
Oh,
it was
free.
like
Okay.
automatic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I mean, it cost me a little bit of like dignity. I guess. Like,
You had to get close
cool
to a sleeping
points.
Kyle. You had to like lean in.
well, I'm always close to a sleeping Kyle.
Oh, that's interesting. to
Speaking
know.
of falling asleep, this game is super boring. Let's take a look at one more. All right, the name of the game is amazing. on its
Yeah.
own. And I remember loving this game, but
Really?
yeah, I just saw the cartridge and I was like, this game's great, and I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
But you remember loving it.
Yeah, I think it's like I want to say like
Mega
Bubble
Man-y?
Pop, or what am I even looking
Oh
at?
gosh.
Wow. What was that? Oh my God.
Is that
Still don't
Spanky?
understand. Oh, this actually.
It's like a bubble pop.
Wait, so what am I supposed to do? I have
Not
to
bad.
feed those guys?
Yeah.
Bounce those into
And then
the...
there.
Wait.
Pop.
Is
All
that you did it? You
Yeah.
just what? This is the goal of the game?
He'd make a good Pokemon, right? I'd catch him.
How dare you? He's
Look
no
at him.
Chimchar.
Okay.
Do it again.
Let's see.
I do like the design.
Maybe you got to get the ball bigger, like keep bouncing it
Yeah.
off
Okay,
base.
let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Oh
All right.
yeah, build up this weapon.
There we go.
Look at this unique mechanic.
You could make a game like this.
Okay, now
Oh,
drop.
I think they did.
Okay, now get ready.
Ah!
You got to hit him, though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man.
Dude, have you ever even gone on a little spanky quest?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a common game mechanic. I just, it's like a first-person shooter. It's just old hat at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
All right, you
Am I
did it.
supposed to
Reiner,
hit a button? Or
What
something?
in
Oh, there,
God's
there.
name?
Little bastard.
You genuinely remember liking this?
Maybe not. Maybe I just like the name of the game.
Monkey with the front butt and a
Okay.
bald tail.
That's not
Yummy.
tail. That's not tail, man.
That's a
No tail.
875.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. 875, 9 out of 10. I mean, our scales are weird. So what am I supposed to do?
What's that
Just-
background?
Do I
Is
press
this
a button?
Just keep
It's a
bouncing.
waterfall tree.
Do I? Maybe I explode it when it hits the bottom?
Can you hit a different button? Have you even tried to hit a button?
Yeah, I got A and B, man. I don't know what else you want from me.
So you got jump? What's the other one?
Can you throw another ball
That's
while that
throwing the
one's
ball.
in the air?
I can. Okay, we
Oh,
can
nice.
pause.
Okay, it's got pause.
That's
cool.
better.
In case you need to
Oh, here we
leave
go.
and
Is
never
that
come back.
Oh, I thought I was gonna hit them all.
Oh, no.
Oh,
And you.
right.
This is perplexing.
this is. I want to figure this out now.
We don't have the manual, so this is it.
Yeah, this is like
You got
inside.
1 minute to figure
This
this
is
out.
like inside. Yeah, they reference this game a lot.
I haven't finished it yet, but is that the ending everyone's so excited about?
I don't want to spoil it for you, but yes, this
Little
is
spanky
exactly-
quest.
It just turns into Spanky's quest. Oh, damn it!
Is this frog fraction?
Yeah, maybe
Is
get them all at once.
All right, let's see. All right,
You got them.
I'm going for it.
I think it's.
Oh, man, Kyle.
Damn it!
Oh, you could have done it right there. Yeah, I think you got to have them all at
All right,
once.
so I
And
just
you're
gotta,
earning points somehow?
I'm getting.
But
the
now you
points.
got them all separate.
Hit them all at. Is this really our best theory? Is hit them all at once?
This
All
is
right.
What about hitting them?
Now,
while
get
they're-
him, get him, get
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Go again.
You did it.
Oh wait.
What?
This game's sweet.
Can you imagine unwrapping this on Christmas and popping it in your Game Boy and just staring at your parents?
Or selling your Super Nintendo to get a Game Boy, and this is what you get.
Oh,
I was very clear. I said Fester's Quest.
guys. Okay, so you have to hit the button.
Oh.
All
Oh, tower away!
All right, so
All right,
now that
so
he's got it figured
I
out.
think. Yeah, it looked like you bounce it a bunch and then you hit the like.
Oh, you were dead.
Let's see. Okay, because I want to hit it again.
Now you got to bounce it up over the side.
Okay, all right. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Wait,
gotta get
so
it.
what do you mean hit it again?
Like when it. So I get it nice and big. I get
Oh,
the
yeah.
ball real big. Get it as big as I can. Then when it hits my head, I hit the button again,
But you want to bounce it over the
Do
side,
it.
right?
Hit it again.
like
Oh,
that.
no, that will kill him.
There we
Dude,
go.
Kyle, you are
do you
really
think?
on a spanky quest
This
here.
game is perfect.
KY?
It's even spelling my name at the bottom there. That's how good I am at it.
See ya.
I'm gonna get that
I'm sure all
as
those-
a tattoo.
Spanky's Quest speedrunners were just killing themselves at that first level. Like, what is this idiot doing?
Okay, let's see. So.
Okay, take everything you've learned.
Oh.
Apply it.
Oh,
That's really good too.
that's good.
I like this game's art.
Get away from me!
Oh, God.
Also,
Oh, no. What am I supposed to do? I want
haven't-
that on a shirt. That's Spanky. That's great.
we haven't addressed
can I
why there
jump?
are like meatballs with ribbons in their hair.
It's a balloon, you dingus.
All right, so let's see if
Seems
I get
awesome.
this going.
That's going to end this episode of Replay, everyone.
Oh, no.
Thanks for watching.
Dad.
3 amazing games that we just took a look at, and Pokemon,
Yeah.
which doesn't have that great of a soundtrack. But go play Pokemon Go,
At
catch them
Andrew
all.
Reiner, at GI Jeff.
Yeah,
There you go.
at Andrew_Reiner, at GI Jeff,
Yozetti.
Tell him how you feel about the Pokemon
Yozetti,
soundtrack.
and whatever his name is on Twitter.
That's something.
We'll see you next time.